I would like to welcome you to my tutorial run through of the Nzxt Cam software. I've had this software for a while and I've been playing around with it, and I wanted to release a video when I'm really through and through with it. It's a beautiful software and very simple to use, and something that you can easily get used to. So briefly I'm going to go through the setup process. First of all, if you want to get access to this software, you get it from their official site, nzxt.com. This is where I download it from, and you can see the layout. Just click download. Once you click your download right there, it will come. I'm going to start with settings. My default profile is currently guest, but if you want to use a Google account, it's also very possible. General account name, guest, English, temperature display, you can choose the one that works for you. You can create an account and get these details, but I currently don't have one. The panels, you can tick the ones that you want to see or not. Then the games, it can hook up games and monitor the games that you play. Then it also has the privacy settings. So no more app account settings. You go down to overlay. This is what you want the app to show as you play. You can put the cam software in the background and monitor your GPU, CPU, frames per second, your RAM, network, and even system time if you want that. You can change the size of the overlay. You can make it large. This is opacity of the app. You can say 25%, 50%, or 100%, depending on how visible you want it to be. And you can also put shortcut keys or hotkeys into what you want to go into, or you can say automatically show the overlay when a game launches. I currently have that off because I use MSI Afterburner, so I don't really need this. So coming down to the mini mode, we can have it either in dark or light. Let me just launch it up here for you. This is how it actually looks like. It's currently monitoring my CPU, GPU, and the load. So you can either change it to light or back to dark. I'm more of a dark guy. You can change the interface colors to what you're looking for. You can change it to red, you can change it to black, you can change it to any color depending on what theme you give it. You can change the reading time. You can change all of this through this alone. You can reset the colors after doing that into what you want, what was the default. So this is opacity. You can change it to either very dark or something medium. You can change also the size to something small or big, but this is the best size, 150. You can make it vertical. You can see how nice it looks like. It gives it a nice feel. You can change it to horizontal. Actually, let me leave it to vertical. Vertical looks cool. So you can also customize horizontal or snap the edges, or can lock it to the movement. That can always be there depending on what you're looking for, really. Depending on what you're looking for, it can remain permanent according to what you're really into. So yeah. So let me remove this. I want to move it around anytime I want. So now coming down to the panels, currently I have CPU temperature, CPU clock speed, GPU temperature, and load. So you can add something new, add another thing, depending on what you really want to monitor on your hardware. Then also the network, how many MBs per second are coming in, what is your RAM load, currently at 7 GB. So yeah, mini mode, that sums it up. Now getting down to notifications. Notifications, I haven't yet logged in. This commonly comes when you do. Click the bell icon in the top right corner to see important information about your PC and happen. Sign up. So you see, you have to sign up in order to activate the notification settings. So coming down to the Nzxt firmware, I have a smart device, a controller, that's what they call it, where all my Nzxt fans connect up to. And I also have, this is the Kraken X3, which also acts like a mini controller. So I can connect my RGB fans as you see them just at the right there. I can connect them directly to this or to this. So I have some here and some here. This is mainly the pump, where you see that infinity display right there. And this is for the controller, Nzxt controller, that's at the back where the cabling is. So we're now coming down to profile sync. Profile sync gathers all your settings under different profiles. I'm currently on default, but you can create one, rename it into what you want, and save without you going through setting each individual thing. So if it is lighting, you can have a profile for any. I have a couple here. If it is cooling, you can choose performance is silent. Once you enable any of these, it will configure everything as a whole in this department of cooling or department of lighting, be it your keyboard, be it your mouse. So support, if you have any issue with the application, you just put in the reason why and you send. Beta, this is to do with new developments within the app that are in tests, and I'm currently going to skip this for now. We're going to start with the topmost part of the app, which is PC monitoring. There is CPU, there is GPU, there is RAM, and there is network. When you come down to CPU, there is temperature, clock, and fan, but you can also click onto CPU and go into the details. My CPU is a Ryzen 9 3900 XT. This is my frequency, 3800 megahertz currently, and the code name of the CPU made by AMD. My current frequency, it also captures it, and also the socket type. So you can use this as to sum up your spec sheet, as you will see in the future. This is my current load. This is the temperature, clock speed, and the fan. So it shows you that also in details if you want to. Then you come down to GPU. As you've seen in CPU, it will do the same here. My GPU is a 3080 Ti, and this is the current frequency and the stock frequency. My load, it shows you the load in percentages. This is my temperature, my clock speed, and my fan speed. So you get back. RAM, and to do the same thing, I have 32 GB kit. My RAM is Corsair Vengence. It doesn't show it here, but this is just shows the type, the timings, and the clock speed, and the load down here and the RAM. Then you come down to network. It shows you the IP address, shows you what you use, the adapter name, and other specifications, especially network. The first time I got this app, actually I liked the way it showed storage. It shows you how many drives you have on. This is my SSD. It shows you the capacity, the format, and the manufacturer, and the name of the drive. Yeah, I just liked the way it did this, despite the fact you have to look for it, but it's really nice. So coming out of there are top processes. These are commonly shown in Task Manager. So the app has a habit of also showing this, and which is nice. When something is sucking up my internet, I don't know where it's going. I don't want to go into the hassle of checking out Task Manager. I come here, but let's be honest, Task Manager is better. So coming down to system specifications, it has a page. It shows the device lists. My CPU, it's 3900. As I said before, you can, unfortunately this doesn't have a link to another page, but just shows you the details here. You can even share these details and download a copy for yourself, or you can just copy and paste it somewhere. For me, this is the format. Let me see what format it's going to give me. If I save this, I come down to my desktop, it will save it into a sheet like this. This is how it will come out. Very fancy looking. So yeah, so GPU, same thing, you can share. Shows you the motherboard type. This is my motherboard, my RAM sticks. Now it shows the model of the chip, shows you the storage, each drive, audio, what you're packing, NVIDIA, Camo, whatever you're using, my microphone, and also the number of Ethernet connections you have. Coming out of specifications, going to games. This is a part that I actually discovered later on, that it also monitors how many times I've played games and for how long I've played these games. Right now I have Outlast 2, very interesting game, I tell you myself. I played this last 4 days ago, but it does not pick up if it is not in the background. That's what I realized, but I've had no problem. The moment it syncs up and hooks up the game, it shows you how many frames you've been getting, total hours, and lifetime hours. So it's very nice. Then let me see if it can pull up some. Yeah, it does. This is what I was playing the past 6 months, last month, and it gives you a list. I'm very good. I like playing Apex a lot, and it gives you a list of what you've been playing, just cause. It gives you the frame rates, total hours you've played, the lifetime hours. It also shows you in graph format of all of the games you've played, 2 hours. And it's really interesting. I just love the way it summarizes the amount of time I spend on specific game applications and shows me what I play most most of the time when I launch my games on my PC. So this is one other attribute they add, NZXT added, that I'm the big fan of. Lighting. We're now in the lighting bit of the application. Sometimes I get this error, communication with this device has failed, but you don't have to worry, just have to retry to connect it. If it fails, you can exit the app, relaunch it, and see if it picks up. So here it picked up my smart device, the controller. Right now you can see my two RGB NZXT fans, the Air 2 fans, the ones that you're seeing right now at the upper right corner, are connected to my controller. Then the ring, that this is the pump, the infinity display, and the logo, and the strip. The same strip is connected to the Kraken X. I didn't want to connect my fans to the pump. I wanted all of them to be separate and control it differently. But if you want all of them to be on the controller, it's possible. If you want all of this to be on the Kraken X, it's also possible. But for me right now, I have two of these. So lighting, let's start with the profile. There are very many profiles. The default profiles that come is this white one. If I click it and you look, this is how white comes in. If you look at my fans, then there is a spectrum wave, RGB puke everywhere, too much bongo. Then there's the NZXT purple. That's how it looks. Then there's the red alert. I don't know why that is there, but come on, they put it there because they wanted to. There's the vapor wave. That's how it looks like. There's the mermaid. That's how it looks like. Then there is audio level. When it comes to audio level, it matches the sound that you play in music with the music. So sometimes it tends to bug up, but when it does that, you can just restart the PC or restart the application itself. Like now, for example, this commonly happens, and you just have to update and restart the PC. So coming down to, this is the last profile, audio level. So I can just come back to default and try to reconnect again. Once you do that, it will pick up again. Whenever it comes to the audio profile, there's always that issue of getting it really well. So now we're back on custom coloring. This is my custom profile, KL, but the one that we're on was NZXT purple. Very nice color, by the way. So we have these fans. These are the RGB fans, the ones you're currently looking at. I use them as my outtake fans on my case. When you tap on them, this maps how many LEDs are in each fan. And these are the colors. You can customize it to any type of color. You want an orange, you want blue, you want orange. So you can't see the colors really thickly, but I hope my footage is enough because I'm not, my camera is really bad. I'm using my phone, by the way. But if you look at this, it's really nice on at my angle where I'm looking at it from. So these are the colors you can wholly customize. You can even come down to custom coloring. If you have a profile you want to put in, you can also insert it in. Any profile works here. There is no that there is a limit to it. No, any type of color custom you want to put here will work properly. Now coming down to customization of the LEDs, you can customize accordingly. You can see I put some. You can change this to any color you want. Each LED within the fans will change individually according to what the user wants. Turn this off. So now coming down to fixed, these are different color RGB profiles, call them that. There is fixed that I use. There is breathing. You can see how it looks like. There is fading. You can see how it also looks like. You can customize the way you want it to fade. You can change the colors to the way you want it to be, and shows you can change the speed adjust accordingly to how you want it to go. This is the fastest to keep on fading. This is speed. Then you can go to McQueen. This is how McQueen looks like. You can decrease the speed. You can increase the speed accordingly. You can change the direction of the speed of the lights depending on what you're really interested in, and change accordingly. This you can customize the colors into LEDs, but you can change the way they look. You can change the direction of the way they look. You can increase the number of LEDs you want rotating within the cycle. This is for McQueen. You can come down also to covering McQueen, another profile, change the direction, change the speed to the way you want it, change the color LEDs the way you want them to be. Actually, I could make a whole separate video on this, but let's do it. Then there's pop. This is a pulse off and on. You can change the same thing, you can increase it, decrease it. I like the time that NZXT put in this. There's a spectrum, wave. These profiles, by the way, apply on all of these, so it's not just that each part has its own. No, they all apply. There's alternating. This alternating looks like same LED size increase. You can make them moving. You can make them static, moving like that. You can increase the speed and enable also moving. So like, I think you get my point. Like, it's almost limitless on the way you can customize this. There's wings. This is how wings looks like. Same color customization. There's Starry Night. That's how Starry Night. I commonly don't use it because I really don't see the difference. Then there is a rainbow. We all know that. Very nice. There is super rainbow. That's how it looks like. Change the direction. So you can see they all share this rainbow pulse. Like, there are very many different ways you can customize your fans. There's candle. It's also a nice one, especially in the dark when you're on your PC playing. There's CPU temperature. So CPU temperature, you can customize each color according to how hot your GPU or CPU gets. So if you can say at 90%, I want you to show me red. At 85%, I'll show you this. Right now, my CPU is below 40 and showing me green. So as your temperatures keep on climbing, the colors also change. You can customize them accordingly for CPU. And for GPU, same thing. I mean, the low, that's why it is green. Then come down to frames. You can customize the colors according to frames. I didn't know this, but yeah, you can. The higher frames you get in your game, the colors keep on changing. The higher frames, the different the color. The lower, higher is good, lower is bad. And that's how it is from what I see. There's the wave. Wave, you can do custom LEDs here. Let's have a look. I've not done this also, but you can change them as you can see. Keep on changing the colors and to keep on adjusting to according to what you want it to move. Then there is a level. This I think has to do with music again, and you can see, I think NZXT hasn't yet patched this. That's why it has issues. The audio, the custom for audio have issues. But yeah, I think you get the gist of it. Let me put it back into fixed or breathing. Let me see. Breathing. You see, once I get back, it's fine. So I think they haven't yet patched up this. So this applies to sync, bass, gain. The colors will keep on changing accordingly to the way you see it here. Let me leave it in fixed. So this manages how bright you want it to be. Then this is the general. So as you can see, this is my strip. Strip has different colors. As you can look, each individual LED is customizable. I have one up here and one at the end right there of the strips. Let me leave the strips to purple. You can see they keep on changing according to what I'm setting here. The profiles are the same. They apply the same very way. McQueen, that's how McQueen is. Actually, the strips are really interesting to look at. That's how covering McQueen is. That's how breathing is. That's how rainbow pulse is. So the strips are really nice. I love them. And these are NZXT strips, by the way. So you can change the color accordingly to what you want. The same exact profile that we're doing. So you can switch them off, switch them back on. So now we're going to the ring. This is the ring that has the NZXT logo in the middle. You can also customize the rings independently, as you see with this sample that I made. You just click and tap on it and you're done. Then switch this back to normal. You can come and change it to red, any color according to what you want it to be. Now for the ring, there are some few exclusive profiles that are here, like Tai Chi. Tai Chi is exclusive to this, and also for the strip. It comes, I think this is for the pump. There's fading, different, just the same exact profiles, but a different outlay since it is the pump. So I can put this also back onto fixed. The colors can change according to what you want, customize it the way you want it and the way you feel it works for you. Then it can come down to the logo. This is how the logo looks like. Logo is currently pop, but I can change it to the I want. Green, gray. The same profiles apply. Yeah, the same profiles apply to the logo also. So we can make it to fading. Can increase the speed. Whether you want it to fade, put McQueen, increase the LED size, make it fast. It is really very interesting. And so after that, what I kind of like doing with the ring, I kind of like turning it in, just do black and just leaving the logo there. So it gives the impression that it is just the logo that is floating in the middle. It's a very nice look if you're doing like pictures like for Instagram or something on your build. It really looks nice. So yeah, now we're going to go down to the overclocking panel. Overclocking, it handles GPU overclocking, not CPU unfortunately. Core clock, you can adjust it accordingly. Memory clock, also the power limit for your GPU, also the temperature limit for your GPU. Basically like MSI afterburner. Cooling, it monitors CPU, GPU, case noise, liquid temperature, and the fans that I have linked up to the device. Right now these are my RAD. I have a 240mm RAD from NZXT, the X53 Kraken, and currently there are 2 fans in front of it. You can adjust according. Right now it is in silent, which gives me this graph. I would advise you to customize the graph and change it to the way you want it. Right now for this is where you configure temperatures. If you want your fans to ramp up according to the CPU temps, if you know your CPU runs hot, you can adjust this setting according to CPU. If it is GPU, it will also reflect the configuration to GPU. Right now I'm running mine on CPU and I can change it to performance. Whenever I'm gaming, once my CPU goes above 50, 55, the fan starts ramping up. If you want to do custom, you can do a custom like mine here, not depending on your situation and depending where you are, this works. So if I put that fixed, it will always give you a flat line just like this to be constant on that temperature. Let me leave this to silent. Then you come down to RGB, the top fans. These are my exhaust fans, the ones that exhaust hot air. Keyboard. Now the next one is keyboard. I do not have an NZXT keyboard, that's why I don't see the option to customize it right here, but once you buy one it will apply. Same goes with their nice looking mice. You can get one, link it up, and the controller or the pump will pick up, the cam software will pick up immediately if you have an NZXT product connected to your PC. The way you see IQ software of Corsair does, the capture card, it also connects, can record direct from your console to this. I've not tried this before, but it's nice to see that the cam app has an option for this. Same also to do with the monitor. If you have an NZXT monitor, they're nice looking monitors by the way, but quite expensive. But if you have one, it will show up here. Right now, no NZXT devices were found in this certain category, as you see here. So yeah, I think that's about it. If you want any more information on how or anything that you're lost on, you can contact me, drop a like, and ask some questions in the comments. Let's have a debate, and I help you out in which way you want to customize your PC using this awesome software. The only problem with this NZXT Cam software is that you cannot maximize. You can't maximize and make it large. To either minimize it, notification, or close it. Once you close it, of course it will go down to your taskbar. You pull it out here, and yeah, that's the only complaint I have with this software. But apart from that, everything is amazing. Drop a like and subscribe. I hope to see you in another one.